Well, everybody, it's autumn time, and that means it's a pretty rough time for animals. Unfortunately, what we see are a lot of broken wings with birds, a lot of collisions, and a lot of road traffic collisions with foxes. So it's not a great time of year in animal rescue. A lot of tough cases. But today we got some weird ones. We got a swan relocation, which is very, very tricky because it's in a really kind of slippy, treacherous, big pond. So I'm going to meet Janice there and we're going to relocate it, or see about making a plan to relocate it. It might mean that we have to actually drain the pool, but it takes 2 days to do that. So we'll see what we can manage. I'm on my way to pick up a gull, which is, its wing is hanging off. It's in the car park in town, so I'm just going to go in and grab that, bring it to the vets. It'll be a PTS, unfortunately. And then this evening the Greek embassy have given me permission to go down into their basement to get a fox out. Now this is a very curious case where there's a fox down in the basement, then there was reports that it was out, then it was back, then the DSPCA reportedly got involved and took it out, but then it appeared back again today. So my advice has been, and will continue to be, that they should put self-rescue measures in place, meaning they should have a ramp or something in there that would allow the fox to get out all by itself, even though apparently it already did do that. So let's see. However, today I will relocate it, but I just need to wait till it's evening time because I don't want to relocate a fox to a busy city centre park where it could just run away and run straight into traffic. So instead I'm going to wait until it's much quieter this evening. And then if that doesn't work, if the fox is back tomorrow, we'll have to put in those self-rescue measures, as I said. Now, that is always the first advice that I give, but in this instance I also need to investigate why exactly the fox keeps going into this basement. If it does, it'll be the third, or it'll be the fourth time, if we assume that the fox did indeed get out and then came back. This will be if it goes back, it'll be the fourth time. So there's definitely something there that's attracting it. Could have been the food that people were throwing out to feed the fox, but it's been cleared out now, so I don't really understand why the fox would be down there. Very curious case. I'll check it out. I'll keep you updated. I mean, if you're watching this video, keep watching to the end, because obviously we resolve the case. And that's really the story. So hopefully we've got 2 relocations, which are really good. That's a nice way to do rescue. We're helping an animal that needs some help, but should be fine. And then obviously the gull is a sad case, but that's how these things go. So the security here have been really, really helpful, but I am going all over the place to try and find where this gull is. It can be easy to forget just how brilliant these birds are because we see them all over the place. This security guard hadn't called for any help because he thought that they were technically pests. But gulls are very endangered at the moment. Their numbers are at all times lows. We see them in cities because there's no fish in the sea and there's litter all over the streets. But they're incredible survivors, incredibly resilient. This poor chick is this year's. You'll see as I approach it, I'm all the time trying to adjust my walk just to get it into that corner, and it's sad to see an animal cornered like this, but it is the safest and best way and lowest stress way to catch it. So that's what I do. The net also, this bird could have been caught hands-on probably by me, but the net again is just the most foolproof, lowest stress, lowest chance of injury. We also have to be mindful of avian influenza, so gloves are a must. If you're indoors with the birds, you got to wear a mask and so on. So we're very careful, but this animal had no signs. In fact, the opposite, very alert, very on the ball, cognitively functioning well. So no avian influenza here. Yeah, that's good. I like to see that. Great, okay. So while I have you here, I did respond to a gull one time years ago that was stuck down there, and I'll put a link to that video up here somewhere so you can grab it. All right, have a look at it, it's good. So I've just dropped off the gull at the amazing Charlemont Street Vets, and now it's on to the next case. So as you can probably see, it's pretty dark now thanks daylight savings. Does anybody want daylight savings? So going to get to this swan and do this rescue. The dark is going to make it harder, of course. It's going to make it more dangerous, of course. It's over water, that's dangerous. Some of the water is very deep, that's dangerous. Lots of it's very slippy, that's dangerous. So as all of the wildlife training we do is never put yourself in dangerous situations. So we will be here making sure, first of all, there's a team of people, never go alone, and second of all, we won't be taking any unnecessary risks. I know that sounds like a boring video for you guys, but hopefully it's still pretty exciting and interesting. So here we are. This is the swan situation. There he is, sleeping on the water way out there. This is the situation that we have. Our objective really is to get him from here. If we could get him in here where it's shallow and a little bit more contained, we might be able to get him with the swan hook. But I think it's looking like a very long shot at the moment. So in the meantime, Janice is going to get some bread. The management company dropped in these pallets, and I think they're part of this whole big pond. So I think I'm going to try and take them out and put them in the back over there. So there's our swan guy, there's Janice, and I'm going to come in from this side and shine the light and see if it has any kind of impact on him at all. What's this surface like? Oh, it's great. So you can see these gaps in the wall. We want him to go through those to eat, to discover the platform, and then to perch. So hopefully Janice, I mean the bread is right there, but he's not going for it. Hopefully he'll go through the gaps in the wall. And what I'm trying to do is kind of startle those eyes a little bit. Okay, discovered the bread. But I want to startle him a little bit to get him encouraged back underneath through the gap in the wall. So Janice is going to coax him to there. Where do you think I should go? I think we should try and get him down onto the land down there. Just let him. Well, that's what we want, is him in there if possible. Mind your step, Janice. Yeah, mind your step. There's not an extra hole, is there?
No, you want to take over.
No, get up there, Janice. What I think we should do is let him calm down on this side. Just stop him going out. I'm going to take a pallet out. When he calms down a bit, I'll put a pallet down in front of that. It'll float, but so. I think this pallet should block that gate. I think so. What do you think? Then we're going to need to swap sides. And I think the way to do that is for me to walk to you and then for you to walk down here. It's coming your way. Now, might stay there now. It's all good. Come round to the ladder, Janice. There's no rush, Janice. Take your time, seriously. Yeah, now reach, put your, yeah, sit down and hold on to the railing.
No, I don't.
Got it? Okay, I'll come up and help you if you get them under control.
Keep one over.
Okay. Well, I'd rather you do the swan wrapping.
I'm the mountain.
Yeah. Got his neck. Yeah. Come on over.
Yeah, buddy. There we go.
Okay. Great job. Could have been better with the swan hooks, for sure. Yeah, I know. And there's Janice with her swan. So Janice got on her phone and checked the swan's ring and realised that it was local to Inchicore, where she released it the next day. After it had a bit of time to get de-waterlogged, warm up a little bit and preen itself back to waterproofness. And so yeah, that worked out really well. So while I have yous, I'm just going to ask you to support the Patreon. All the rescue work that we see costs loads of money. We need to buy carriers and gloves. That's not even to mention renting the premises and everything that goes into all these rescues. Also, the videos that you're seeing of me doing rescue, that's the tip of the iceberg. There's so many volunteers, so many people helping out, and yeah, please support them and support the work that Kildare Wildlife do by joining the Patreon if you're not already, and follow us on Instagram for all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it really helps. Anything that you can do to support the work that we're doing is going to help wildlife in Ireland. So we got that swan, as you saw. So the next thing is I'm going to grab a bite to eat, and then I'm going to go to the Greek embassy where they give me permission to go down into the basement to relocate a fox. I think I probably already told you that in the video, did I? I don't know. It's been a long day. Okay, so this little guy knows that I'm coming for him. I think this is going to be a bit tricky, a bit mad, but wish us luck. I doubt very much the camera is going to pick this up, but I'm going to let this fox go through back into his natural habitat in there, and I'm just going to do it by opening the door above that gate. Recently we held level 2 training for our volunteers. I'd really encourage you all to sign up to help with your wildlife rescue, and here we had people learn how to use catch poles and how to use swan hooks. It's only an introduction. People need a lot of training and a lot of practice, but this was a really good practical first look at using these advanced rescue tools. So the second case is coming in on the level 2 training. Beautiful location up and down the canal here, and we've got our casualty there, and then we've got the people coming along here to respond, so they'll all get a chance to use the swan hook. So you can see how this training is so applicable, having seen the swan rescue that Janice and I just did. People learning how to use swan hooks, how to stay safe around water, how to communicate with each other, and how to come up with a strategy to catch difficult to catch animals. They also learned how to use the swan wrap, which is vital as well. So get involved with your local wildlife rescue and start helping animals.